Welcome back. Today, we're cutting through the noise, really diving deep into OpenAI's recent triple announcement. This wasn't just, a few new APIs. It feels more like a big statement about their platform strategy,
Yeah.
really aimed at the whole development lifecycle.
Exactly. And our mission today is to sort of map out how these three things connect. We've got the new AgentKit Builder Toolkit, then this huge app ecosystem they're launching inside ChatGPT, and also the new specialized models. We want to go beyond just the headlines and figure out why they dropped agent governance, distribution scale, and model efficiency updates all at once.
Right. Our sources gave us a pretty detailed breakdown, and the story seems to be about moving builders, people like you listening, away from needing this patchwork of different tools.
Yeah.
For orchestration, testing, governance, deployment. The goal seems to be a single unified workflow built right into their stack.
Yeah, and the critical thing to grasp here is that this consolidation, it's not just about convenience, it's strategic. It's like building a moat. By controlling that high-value orchestration piece and providing the guardrails, they kind of reduce your need for external vector databases,
Mhm.
other evil systems, maybe even custom UI frameworks. It's a pretty aggressive play for ownership, really.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with what seems like the biggest shift for developers actually building production agents, AgentKit. The sources are very clear. This is a full platform, not just, another API endpoint.
hmm
If AgentKit is supposed to replace our current way of doing things, what does it actually do?
Well, AgentKit is defined as a full platform. It's designed to manage the whole AI agent lifecycle from designing and shipping to actually improving reliability over time. It's focused on everything around the model call itself, because that's where, honestly, probably 90% of the production headaches are today. This looks like their core platform pillar for the year.
That structural move, though, it does raise a strategic question right away. Isn't asking developers to move their entire pipelines to AgentKit? Isn't that just another way of saying vendor lock-in? What did our sources say about, the potential downsides of putting that much control in one place?
Yeah, the sources definitely acknowledge that vendor lock-in is, well, a reality here. But they frame the value prop around reliability. The argument is that enterprise adoption often stalls because agents can be brittle, right? They break easily. AgentKit offers reliability through three core components that really change how you build.
Okay, lay those out for us. What are the three big aha moments here for someone learning about this?
Okay, first, the agent builder. Think of this replacing that complex, often brittle spaghetti code you might have for orchestration. Instead, you get a visual versioned canvas. You can chain together tools, put in guardrails like, say, jailbreak filters or PII filters, handle branching logic, even string together multi-agent flows. So you're moving away from managing potentially thousands of lines of code wrappers and complex if-then logic to basically drawing a reliable, version-controlled flowchart. That's a huge boost for productivity and for safety.
Right, visual development with version control baked in, that definitely sounds faster. But for enterprise agents, getting the data connected reliably, securely, and crucially with the right permissions, that's often the real nightmare.
And that's exactly the job of the second piece, the connector registry. This is the specific administrative layer for integrating your enterprise data and tools. Think Drive, SharePoint, Teams, and importantly, other tools using their Model Context Protocol, or MCP. MCP is basically their standard way for models to talk to external data and respect internal company security rules. So access governance is handled systematically, not bolted on.
Okay, so you've built the agent logic visually, connected the enterprise data securely. Now you need to actually put it in front of users, embed it cleanly in your own app or website. Traditionally, that's meant custom code for handling streaming responses, managing conversation threads, all that UI complexity.
And that's the third piece, ChatKit. This gives you embeddable chat UI components, so your agent feels native inside your own application. It handles the streaming, the threading, and that really important show reasoning feature, all without you needing to hand code that complex front-end stuff. It's worth noting, Agent Builder and the connector registry are rolling out in beta, but ChatKit and the new evals upgrades are actually generally available now, so you can start standardizing your deployment UX right away.
Wait, hold on. If AgentKit is handling all this new workflow complexity,
Yeah.
how do we actually test it reliably? Governance is like non-negotiable for production agents. Let's talk about those evals upgrades you mentioned.
Yeah, quality control has definitely become central here. The evals upgrades now include standardized data sets, something called trace grading, and automated prompt optimization. Trace grading is really critical. It means you can evaluate not just the final answer the agent gives, but every single step it took within that agent builder workflow you designed. This lets developers pinpoint exactly where a multi-step process went wrong much faster than before.
That granular level of failure analysis, yeah, that's essential. And they also mentioned some advanced fine-tuning stuff. Sounded like it was specifically for making these complex tool-using agents actually work properly.
Right, that refers to RFT, which stands for Reinforcement Fine-Tuning. It's now generally available on their O4 mini model, and it's in private beta on GPT-5. RFT is the training technique that's really crucial for teaching agents to follow complex, multi-step instructions and, importantly, use external tools correctly. That's the core challenge with production agents. And within that RFT process, they support using custom tool calls and even defining your own custom graders to really tailor the fine-tuning to your specific agent's needs.
Okay, so pulling this together, AgentKit seems to be this unified platform designed to replace that whole DIY stack of tools for orchestration, UI, governance, and evals. The promise is faster iteration cycles and much clearer controls around reliability, which sounds like, well, the necessary groundwork for whatever comes next.
Precisely. Getting that tight internal control and reliability sorted out with AgentKit is what makes the massive external scale they're clearly aiming for even possible.
Right, and here's where we shift from how you build to where these things get distributed, this move toward an application ecosystem within ChatGPT itself. I mean, this feels less like just a feature update and more like,
Yeah.
well, like a declaration of war on traditional app stores almost.
It absolutely has that App Store-like feel to it, yeah. ChatGPT now directly supports third-party apps that users can just talk to right there in the chat interface using natural language. Imagine how smooth this could be. A user just types, Spotify, make me a playlist for my drive home, or Zillow, show me houses under $500 K near this park. Right there. All that friction of finding an app, downloading it, logging in, navigating its interface, it just disappears.
And for developers wanting to tap into that potential audience, they provided the tool.
That's the Apps SDK. It's currently in preview, but it's the toolkit developers use to build these conversational app experiences. It essentially extends that model context protocol we mentioned and gives developers the UI elements and logic tools they need to run their app right inside the ChatGPT environment.
Let's just pause on that user number again. OpenAI claimed access to over 800 million weekly users on the platform during their DevDay event. I mean, that's not just big, that fundamentally changes the game for developers, right? Who previously had to pay huge amounts for distribution, for SEO, App Store cuts.
The potential reach is just astronomical, and it's immediate. That scale is why you're seeing developers jump on this so quickly. They launched with some pretty big partners already integrated. Booking.com, Canva, Coursera, Expedia, Figma, Spotify, Zillow. Those are live now.
Yeah.
And we know other major players like Uber, Target, Peloton. They're apparently coming soon too.
Okay, so for the builder listening, thinking strategically,
Yeah.
what's the current situation with monetization, and what's the path forward look like?
Right now, the apps are live for logged-in users, though currently outside the EU across all the subscription tiers, free and paid. Monetization is the big piece that's still coming. It's announced, but not here yet. The plan includes a formal submission process for apps, a browsable directory like an app store, and eventually, developer revenue sharing. That's all slated for later this year. So the message for developers is clear. Start building and testing your apps now. Get ready for when that directory opens up and the monetization switch gets flipped.
Okay, that covers the how you build with AgentKit and the where you distribute with the Apps SDK. Let's pivot now to the performance side. They're also filling out their model lineup seems squarely aimed at letting you match the cost of the model to the quality you actually need for a given task.
Yeah, the strategy here seems to be about filling out the product's surface area, giving users the ability to pick the right tool for the job. They're effectively saying, look, don't waste your premium GPT-5 tokens on tasks that a smaller, cheaper model can handle perfectly well.
Okay, let's start with multimodal encode. Any specific updates there?
Yeah, Sora 2, their video generation model, is now available in the API for experiments. It signals they're pushing towards production-ready video creation tools integrated into the platform. And for coding workflows, Codex is now generally available. That comes with some nice integrations like Slack, a new SDK, and specific enterprise admin controls for managing internal code agents.
Right. It reinforces that platform consolidation idea. They want the whole AI lifecycle. from internal coding help to external product features happening on their turf. But maybe the most interesting tactical shift here is around those specialized low-cost options, the mini-series.
Absolutely. Introducing these smaller, cheaper, specialized models is really key for cost optimization in production. They rolled out GPT Real-Time Mini, which is specifically designed for cheaper real-time voice features. If you're building a quick voice assistant, you probably don't need the full power of GPT-5. And similarly, they introduced GPT Image 1 Mini for cheaper image generation. Think things like generating thumbnails on the fly or quick internal asset creation where good enough is fine.
So you've got the cheap and fast options for saving money and improving latency. But what about those tasks where reliability is everything, where getting it wrong is just not an option?
That's precisely where the precision model comes in. They introduced GPT-5 Pro in the API, and it's specifically targeted at those high-precision, high-stakes tasks. Think analyzing complex regulatory briefs, processing internal policy documents accurately, or any task where a mistake could be really costly for a company. They're providing a distinct premium option for situations where reliability absolutely has to be maximized. And importantly, you'd use AgentKit to govern how and when that powerful model gets used.
So the whole picture comes together. A cohesive platform covering code agents, multimodal creation, specialized efficiency models, and high-precision analysis models. The goal seems to be ensuring builders never really have to leave the OpenAI platform for any part of their AI workflow.
It really is about end-to-end control, yeah.
Okay, so let's bring it home. What does all this mean for you, the person listening, who's building things, or maybe planning to build things with AI? We've distilled this down into 4 key strategic imperatives, pulled directly from the source material. Consider this your tactical roadmap.
Right. Let's summarize the actionable plan based on everything OpenAI just rolled out.
First up, AgentKit. What's the action?
Iterate and govern. Start using the agent builder right away for your core workflow pipelines. Things like ingesting data, classifying it, summarizing, scoring, publishing, whatever it is. And crucially, make sure you add those guardrails nodes immediately. Get essential security filters in place, like jailbreak detection and PII filtering. That's your baseline safety net internally.
Okay. Second, quality control.
Measure quality.
Yeah.
Stand up the new evals system. Really leverage that trace grading feature and the automated prompt optimization. Iterate relentlessly on your agent design until your pass rates hit the quality bar you've set. Then and only then lock those reliable versions within Agent Builder. Don't ship until trace grading confirms it's working as expected.
Makes sense. Third, getting it out there, distribution.
Distribute. Start planning now to build an app using the app's SDK for that in-chat interaction model within ChatGPT. Get ready for the directory submission process and that future monetization framework they've promised later this year. The potential audience is enormous, so being ready is critical.
And finally, managing the cost and performance.
Match task to model. Be deliberate. Use GPT-5 Pro only for your absolute highest stakes analysis where you need maximum precision, save those expensive tokens. For everything else where cost or real-time performance is key, like voice interactions or generating quick images, like thumbnails, use the smaller, cheaper mini models like GPT Real-Time Mini and GPT Image 1 Mini. Optimize your spend.
That gives a really clean, practical roadmap for development strategy based on these announcements. The combination of AgentKit's really comprehensive governance tools, coupled with the sheer scale of distribution offered by the app's SDK, it really suggests a strategic push. They're not just offering models anymore. They seem to be aiming to capture the entire lifecycle of enterprise AI, from secure, reliable creation all the way through to monetization and end-user distribution.
Yeah, they're clearly betting that providing reliability and offering that immense scale is how they win the ecosystem battle long-term.
Which really raises a final important question for you, the listener, to think about as you digest all this. This consolidated power stack is here. Will this unified approach genuinely accelerate development by solving some of the hardest reliability problems we face? Or will the captured value and the inevitable vendor lock-in end up stifling broader innovation across the ecosystem down the line? Definitely something to mull over as you start exploring these powerful new tools.
It's a great question to take forward, absolutely.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.